Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and we have gotten the official PALWORLD roadmap going forward. Now, PALWORLD, obviously a game that is currently in early access, as is the case with any game in early access. This is a game that is going to consistently evolve over the duration that it is available in early access. This is going to be a plethora of updates and a long journey ahead for PALWORLD in totality, but it's more exciting than anything else. But let's talk about the roadmap more than anything. That is what I want to talk about here, and it was a post over on the Steam community page, The Future of PALWORLD. First of all, we would like to share with you our roadmap for PALWORLD. Sales have far exceeded the development team's expectation, you say, and we are currently experiencing many problems due to excessive access congestion, among other challenges. We will prioritize improving this issue first, and then move on to implementing new in-game features. Thank you for your understanding. I think that's totally understandable. Look, nobody could have predicted PALWORLD's level of success. Whenever you drop a game on Steam, yeah, you don't go into it thinking that it's going to be one of, arguably the biggest game of all time ever released on Steam. I know PUBG has had a higher concurrent player count, but okay, that's PUBG. PUBG's a pretty damn successful game, especially at the height of popularity of PUBG. PALWORLD coming in at number 2, I don't think anybody could have expected that, and that is going to cause some issues in terms of, you know, a lot of people are bringing forth issues, servers are going crazy, etc., etc., but they do have an early access roadmap out right now. So first of all, addressing critical issues is at the top of the priority list. Currently, numerous bugs have been identified, and we are prioritizing fixing those. Sometimes the world date may experience rollbacks, the loading screen may persist when trying to load into worlds, and so on and so forth. Those critical issues are going to be absolutely abundant. When you unleash a game to 2 million players, there's going to be people that are finding various issues with the game. At the very least, you hope that when you drop a game, not just an early access game, but a PC game in general, you just hope it's functioning enough where people are still going to have a worthwhile experience. But when you're unleashing a game into the ether with hundreds of thousands, or in this case millions of people playing it, there are going to be issues that arise, and they're seemingly doing a good job at identifying those and then fixing those. That is absolutely of utmost important, especially when a game like this, you want to make sure the game-breaking issues are first and foremost dealt with, and it looks like they are working on that. Remember, PALWORLD does come from Pocket Pair, a relatively small studio. I don't know the validity of the exact stories that are coming out in terms of what this studio went through and how some of the people that work for the studio got hired, but if there's validity to it, and it's hard to, you know, verify information like that, it's like kind of a wild story as far as Pocket Pair, but kudos to them and credit to them regardless. It's a talented team, obviously, working on this game. Improvements to implement ASAP, key configuration improvements to base PAL AI and pathing. It seems like a PAL AI and AI in general is something that does need a lot of work on, so good that they're working on that. And then planned future updates, PvP, raid bosses. This includes endgame content, that'll be great. PAL Arena, PvP for PAL, Steam and Xbox crossplay, awesome. If they do a PlayStation release, you would love to see crossplay on that, and if they do a Switch release, crossplay on that would be great. I know the Pokemon Company made a response to this game or put out a statement. They can't really say much at this stage of the game, but I hope the game eventually does get a Switch 2 release, and I think it would be beneficial to everybody. Various Xbox feature improvements, server transfers, and migrations, that would be awesome. Improvements to the building system, and new islands, pals, bosses, and technology. So really, that last note of new islands, pals, bosses, and technologies, that's just overall more content getting added to the game. And right now, the game's got, you know, the big creatures in the world, and then you also have all of the towers that you can do. And that'll give you a good bit of content to go through, you know, and for $27, like, the amount of content that's already available in PALWORLD, like, my expectations out of games is, you know, I don't ever look for X amount of hours of gameplay, but given PALWORLD's price point at $27, the amount of content you're already getting is pretty darn good, and that's the exciting thing about it, and I'll reiterate this every time when we talk about PALWORLD, and I've heard everybody say it whenever I talk to them about PALWORLD. Yeah, it's a really good game. I'm really enjoying it, but I wish X was in there. I wish Y was in there. Guys, it's an early access game. I get it with the fact that it's got 2 million concurrent players as I'm recording this video. It's sold 8 million copies, etc., etc. There's a huge casual audience for this game. This game has hit the more mainstream zeitgeist that exceeds beyond this channel, beyond the core gaming community, and a lot of casuals are jumping into the game, and that's great. I'm not even trying to crap on them or anything like that. I love it when people that aren't super into video games find a game that they're into, even if it's the yearly Call of Duty release. You know what? Video games is something I love. It's something I cover, and if somebody that's not super into gaming, you know, finds a game that they can enjoy, more power to it. That's great for gaming as a whole, and honestly, it does my cold black heart a little bit of joy. Gives me a little bit of joy whenever those people are also gaming, and PALWORLD is one of those games that has clicked with that audience as well. But obviously, that audience may not be as familiar with the idea of an early access game. All of the improvements that people want to see, all of the content ideas that they have in their head, I'm sure at some point it has gone through somebody's mind over at Pocket Pair. The thing is, they've got to prioritize what they work on, and right now it's about addressing critical issues and things that are going to be game-breaking. Ultimately, when they have a good handle on that, that's when they're going to start putting a lot more emphasis on potential new content ideas, raid bosses, PAL Arena, new islands, pals, bosses, and technologies. But really, the ceiling for this game is so like colossally high. What this game can be in 16 months from now is really what's exciting to me, and I get it. People are enjoying the game right now, 93% positive rating on Steam, that's great, but imagine we are at this level now. Now they have a lot of resources. Now we know this is a winning formula. What can this game be in 16 months? And you know, for me, and I get it that most people are not going to be like that, what I don't enjoy about games like PALWORLD as a whole is the more survival aspect to it. And you know, for a game like this, it is a lot of just doing things forever. PALWORLD doesn't have a set endpoint. What I would really like to see, and I don't know how likely it is, but it would be the creation of some sort of single-player campaign mode. I'm not saying you gotta have a crazy narrative attached to it, but they've got the resources now. If they want to take this idea and they want to create some sort of campaign with it, they can do that, and that's what I would like to see. I just like games in general to have a starting point and an end point that I can enjoy, and then I can move on. I get it that, you know, most people want to get the most value out of their dollar, and they want to play games for 50, 60, 70 hours, and there was a time in my life where I was super into that, but there's too many games coming out, there's too many games to cover and everything like that, that for me, that's not really my style that I get super into. Am I gonna have a good time with PALWORLD even as is? Yeah, absolutely, but for my gaming taste these days, I do prefer the we start here, end here. If I want to do New Game Plus, I'll do New Game Plus. But, you know, it does have the offline server where you can just mess around in your world, and you can decide when the end point is. If it's you beating all the towers and catching all the mons, etc., etc., if that's the end point for you, well, then that can be the end point for you. But I like it when there's a definitive start point with a starting story, end point, conclusion, end the story, etc., etc. I don't know if that's something they're going to implement in PALWORLD. That's probably, you know, as far as ideas, my idea as far as implementing a campaign mode is way at the bottom. Like what they list out, that's what the majority of people want, and absolutely do the things that the majority of people want. They want PvP, they want new islands, they want new exploration elements, pals, bosses, technologies, more towers getting added, so on and so forth, improvements to the building system. Like, I get it. What I want out of this game is my selfish desires that I do know is not going to be effective in the grand scheme of things in terms of satisfying the overwhelming majority of players. But right now, we do have a very exciting roadmap for the game, and I think it's going to see a lot of progress over the course of the next year, 16 months. What I would personally do is I wouldn't be rolling out content updates for the sake of content updates to say, hey, we got an update. What I would rather do is I would rather do major tentpole updates. Obviously, do updates to do fixes, bug fixes, address the critical issues, but as far as content updates go, do that once a quarter, maybe once every other month, so you actually have something substantial that'll get people excited and get people to get back in the game instead of one little thing being piecemealed every now and again, you know, every other week or every month. I just don't think that'll be that effective. I would rather them drop big updates, you know, quarterly or something like that, alongside the updates to fix the general issues. But that'll do it for me. Again, that's what we got as far as the roadmap is concerned. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Exciting times ahead for PALWORLD as a whole, but your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.